Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Into the Breach. We are playing as the Frozen Titans. We made it through the first island. Did not come out unscathed, but we're alive. And where are we headed next? I have not thought about this yet. I kind of like the idea of heading here. Being able to freeze the burrowers makes them way less of an issue. But of course that's sort of true about every kind of enemy. Having some acid available will be nice. Yeah, why not? Give it a try. The landfill. Kill at least 7 enemies, protect the coal plant. Well, seems unlikely that we'll be able to kill 7 enemies, even with conveyor belts dumping them into acid. Yeah, I'll just take the teleport facility, thanks. I don't really want the grid defense that badly, but I do want to do missions that I can do. And this gets me to the reactor core, so we're going this way eventually anyway. Okay, there's the Alpha Firefly, so we can't push him into acid or anything, but I don't know. Still don't know how to deploy the squad. Okay, a nice easy push there should be sufficient. Don't really appreciate that you've done this to me though. Let's see. Seems like my best play here is to... Oh, I shield myself. I forgot about that. See, here's the thing. I want this guy to be free to... Oh no, I should do this, huh? Yeah, that's what I should do. Just freeze this guy instead of pushing him out of the way. And we already have someone willing to unfreeze him. Yeah, that's the idea. And then these two will happily kill this scorpion. I could have done this better. I maybe could have gotten to block this spawner, but actually I don't think it's really critical to do so. We have a manageable number of enemies on screen. Burrower has arrived. One thing... Oh no, I was thinking we could put a mirror mech in the middle here and just shoot at them both, but of course I can't do that. I'd love to freeze this burrower so I never have to deal with him again. On the other hand, maybe freezing this alpha is better? I can't see a way for my... Oh, yeah, I can. I was going to say, I can't see a way for my ice mech to freeze someone and become unfrozen. But sneaking on down here is the way to do it, in fact. I can then freeze this scorpion. And we can turn around the hornet and just attack the burrower while we do all of this. So I like that plan. We're gonna do it. Oh, I should have... God. Should have moved again. I don't know. Maybe the number of enemies is manageable. I think I should actually back that turn up and come here to block one more spawn. Right now we're gonna have 4 enemies on screen, which might be too many. So do the same thing, except better. Where do I want my shield mech? Or this Aegis mech? The middle seems fine. Blast Scion means it's a bit problematic to kill enemies, but unfortunately we don't have to live with that. We can just kill them. And then have these two both do the same thing they did last turn, and that takes care of all the enemies. Ah, no, I have to step over here. So we can't block that last spawn. That's fine. The three of us should be able to take care of one Vec. I hope. It's hard to imagine a situation where that's not true. Oh, there's only two of us, because this guy's frozen. Still. Okay. Nice, simple mission. The rewards are not great, but, you know, we didn't mess anything up. Defend the train, protect the defense lab. Well, I would like a reactor core, so I think that I will do this. Yeah. 4 enemies, huh? That's a few too many for my tastes. Oh good, he's not doing anything. This guy we can freeze or do whatever to. And this guy's also not doing anything. This is an alpha, so I would rather freeze the alpha if I can. Yeah, and then I can get myself unfrozen by this firefly. What about this? Well, okay, actually, there's another interesting thing, which is that I can do a double attack here. The problem is that if I do this, there's no obvious way to get my Ice Mech unfrozen after he does whatever it is he wants to do. Unless he does something quite low value, like, I don't know, attack or freeze this building. I suppose, actually, he could come here and just use himself to block a spawn. Doesn't seem that great. Oh, this guy's dying when I attack him. That's pretty great, because of the acid. That's interesting. What am I to make of this? Hang on. Don't I have a better trick shot standing here? Or, well, you know, where this guy is? Kills this guy, damages this guy. Then I have my Aegis Mech and my Ice Mech still available. I can move the Ice Mech to here and freeze this guy. Aegis Mech to here and block a spawn. That seems productive. Right? I like this quite a bit. I wish I could get more use out of my Aegis Mech. And I could kill the Firefly, but I'd rather have him unfreeze my Ice Mech than kill him. He might continue being useful next turn. And if not, I don't know, whatever. There's not going to be that many mechs on the screen next turn. I should be able to deal with them, I guess is what I'm getting at. Oh, I forgot Vex. I forgot this guy also. Hey, that's not nice at all. So I guess what I can do is freeze this Alpha, rescuing my Aegis mech. Use the Aegis mech to kill one of these guys, and use the mirror mech to kill the other one. Not sure which. So a funny thing that you can do, actually, I think. Hang on, can you freeze this? What? Why can't you? Let me see the stuff under it, please. Don't just show me his attack. Hello? Why is it showing? Okay. Can't be set on fire, it can't be smoked. Can't be pushed. But it should be able to be frozen, right? Now, it's not totally clear that this would be a good idea, but it says, yeah, you'd freeze him. If we do this, then the train is sort of protected from damage next turn. Which is sort of like strictly, well, not strictly, but it's better in a lot of ways than actually, like I could freeze an enemy instead. But this way, suppose in the worst case, that enemy attacks the train next turn. I haven't really lost anything by freezing the train instead of the enemy. If the enemy chooses next turn not to attack the train, then by freezing the train instead of the enemy, I've bought the train 1 extra health to work with. I could even freeze it this turn and allow it to be attacked, I think. I don't know how these like 2-tile wide freezes or attack this 2-tile long unit works. Maybe it would be a bad idea. But it's sort of a neat idea, isn't it? I think it's probably better to freeze the Alpha. Like he's kind of creating problems for me as long as he's alive. And I'll keep my mirror mech up here where he can like perhaps get a trick shot that hits the ice mech somehow. I don't think that's very likely. Yeah, and I don't really, well, I kind of do want him here because where are the enemy? How are the enemies going to get to the train? They're going to have to go this way, right? And so I want to be on that side. And the extra acid doesn't really matter. And if I need to, I can unfreeze this guy with my action. Since he is typically more powerful, yeah, we're going to have to do that. But that's fine. The ice mech is typically more powerful than my mirror mech, so even if the mirror mech spends his whole turn unfreezing the ice mech, it's often worth it. As it is here, by the way. Unfreeze this guy. Yeah, since we can't get to any of the other back, we can just unfreeze this guy. Now he's got acid, but who cares? Freeze another alpha. Look at that, 3 alphas just frozen here, not able to do anything. I love it. And kill the last guy. He'll explode, dealing 1 damage, breaking the shield and all the ice, but it doesn't matter because this is the last turn. And these guys are now just waking up like, wait, what the heck happened? I was fighting all this stuff. But the train got away safely. Okay, and can we handle this? Disposal unit, which we'll only have to fire twice. That means we have access to it to attack units twice. This seems quite good. There's a ton of Vec, of course, but I think we should be able to handle them with the help of the disposal unit. I don't... I guess like this? I don't know where to put anyone, honestly. 2 alphas is a big old hassle. Oh gosh, and the explodey dude. Gonna have to be careful with that. Oh dear. You know, this guy's only attacking for 1. I'm thinking of leaving him alone. To unfreeze my ice mech. Oh, hang on. I guess I could freeze this guy. But he's not doing anything, so... yeah, freezing him doesn't really help that much. Whereas, if I put my ice mech here, I could freeze this guy. And, they're all close enough to the buildings that I can't very effectively use this, right? Kind of a problem. I think just volunteering to take some damage instead of hurting this guy is actually good for me. Well, what? Yeah. The only way I have to kill this Scion right now is with the acid launcher. And I think it's important that I do kill that Scion, because I'm going to want to kill enemies eventually, even if I don't do it this turn. And given that I'm doing that, well, even if I don't do that, the only way I have to deal with this Scorpion is to ice him. So, having done all that, it might be useful for me to have this Burrower attack my Ice Mech next turn. Right? Like, I think I'm making this attack, freeing my guy from the Alpha Scorpion, and making him block a spawn. You know, that's all lovely. And I think I'm making this. These are like all plays I have to make, and just the question is whether to make the one optional move I have or not. If I don't hit this guy, he'll wake up my Ice Mech, meaning I'll have one more mech next turn, but this guy will have 2 more health next turn as well. Maybe that's fine. Maybe I can freeze him next turn so that the extra health doesn't matter that much. And it also lets me get my Aegis Mech closer to all these enemies down here. Although I'm not so sure that that's a good thing, because obviously we're doing this after throwing the acid, of course, but once I kill this Scion and freeze this mech, like, there's not actually a lot of access. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like, I can't really get into the back here. It's actually better to just stay up here in that case. Well, after you do this shot. So, like, the other thing is I could come here and freeze this building instead of freezing the Vec. And then, you know, we don't get the spawn, this doesn't take damage, but this guy kills my Mirror Mech, and I don't think I could prevent it, because he's not pushed back. It's very important there's a space for him to be pushed back too. So I don't think we can do that. I think this is like the only line I can find. feels like a huge waste of the acid launcher, but what can you do? When it achieves an important objective, it wasn't a waste. And that objective... Oh! I can sneak in here. Now that that guy's not there, I can do this. Oh, that's great! What a nice improvement to this line organically discovered. I feel a lot better now, having gotten to attack that guy enough that he'll kill himself. Alright, which of these guys do we want to freeze? If I had to guess, probably the alpha. On the other hand, we can sort of make the alpha work for us by blocking a spawn, so I'm sort of inclined to freeze this guy instead. Yeah, that seems good. And now we have an off turn that we can use the acid launcher. I could destroy either of these mountain formations. And I was going to say, oh, I'd rather leave these mountains here so that I can, like, because that's closer to where all the enemies will be. But, like, yeah, does that really matter? This is the place you're attacking the mountains from, so won't hit any enemies here, whether you do it now or later. I guess I'll do this and apply some acid over here and make it harder for the enemies to maneuver, maybe? And then if I want to, I can do this next turn to expose more terrain I can work with, perhaps. Okay. Good second turn. First turn was actually also good, but I felt bad about it until it happened. Oh, you didn't want to do that, I don't think. Well, on the other hand, it's a little hard to get over here, isn't it? To deal with this guy? It really is. So maybe I should just hit him with some acid. It's not a very high value play because we're only getting one kill, but that's all we need, right? A single attack from this guy, like, saves the world. Kills all the other mechs. Vex. God. Everything in this name sounds the same. Fireflies and scorpions and hornets and centipedes, they're all just like bugs, and these guys are Vex and mechs, and like it's so easy to say the wrong thing. At least mountains have a normal name I can understand. Okay. So I think I want to do this. And like, so the question is, should I freeze something and like get unfrozen this way? Like I could freeze this. But that's terrible. Why would I do that? I'm not attacking that. For some reason I got it into my head that I was attacking this. I guess partly it's because I was thinking of a play sort of like this, where I free my mirror mech, and then he wants to come over here and push this guy, and that involves attacking this. But that's just a much worse version of the play. So we're not going to do that. Yeah, if it were just a shield, I'd be like, yeah, sure, shield it up. But it's not. It's freezing, and that's bad. So we're just going to have this guy... Well, I guess if you freeze and then get hit, that's like doing nothing. So I might as well do something, right? And if I move here, you still can't reach that. Okay. So honestly, like, what this guy hardly matters, and we're just going to freeze the, acid this. And I'll keep this flying... acid freezing dude in reserve to deal with one mech next turn. Deploy the old shield. And we should be okay next turn to use acid to destroy the mountains and our mechs to destroy the one Vec that spawns. Yeah, I think we can handle a single Hornet. And we might as well get XP for it by doing it this way. Okay, good work. Oh, promotion. What did we get? A reactor. Amazing. I love reactor upgrades. I think that it's worth spending... Since we're floating one energy in here anyway, I think it's worth... It's sort of only costing us one energy to get this instead of the move. I think that this is better than +1 move, if the alternative is just like spending it on health or something, which is not that great. And now he has sort of an emergency thing. Ooh, look at that. So this is actually the only thing I can think of in the game that doesn't just go in a plus shape. Right? It's actually Manhattan distance of 2 or Manhattan distance of 3. That's pretty crazy. Alright. Not sure exactly what scenarios I'll use it in. Hopefully... Mostly... Hang on. Did I... Oh my god. I forgot to put in a reactor core last turn. After doing this one. Well, what do I need most? What I had before was +1 move on this guy, which seems okay, but +1 move on everyone else is good too. Yeah, I'll put it... Wow, that's such an outrageous amount of freeze. But I don't think I actually want to do that. I just wanted to see if it would show me the 3-tile freeze. I'm not sure who needs the move most. I guess this guy does. He's taken pretty much all of our power, but I think that's fine. Okay, so now there is only one mission left before Corporate HQ, which must mean it's time for a break. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.